Today, I want to show you how to get your home recordings to sound pro with just stock plugins. As engineers, we get sent tracks that are recorded at home. Some are recorded at a studio. I would say majority of my work I get is home recordings. So what does that entail? No treatment, room reflections, the beat, like when they take the headphone off type, you can hear the beat in the recording. Mic placement sucks. They're like either right on top of the mic, or they're like way back here and like there's no low end, low mids. It's just all mid range and treble. So I'm gonna show you how I get this home recording to sound awesome with just stock plugins. So today we're gonna be using this hook vocal from Liam's song Over, and I'll put his song in the description. Let's listen to this and see what we're working with, and we'll go from there.
It goes on and on. Wishing I could call it off. Girl, losses never get a closure. Cause I know when it's over.
So the first thing that I hear is there's it sounds very flat. What we can do to lift it, I guess you could say a bit, is using a plugin called Lo-Fi. I know it sounds crazy to use Lo-Fi on a vocal. You're like, what does Lo-Fi do? You can reduce the sample rate, you can reduce the sample size, anti-alias. But what I like to do with this plugin is that 0.1 on distortion, 0.1 on saturation. You can go further if you want, but for me, I used to use this all the time on my vocals, and I would put it first thing in the chain right here. And let's listen to what it did.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, losses never get a closure. Cause I know when it's over.
Now let's do 0.2. So you can really hear the difference. Now with this plugin, it does add a good bit of gain.
It goes on and on. It goes on and on. It goes on and on.
It kind of gives the track some balls, you know what I'm saying? I don't like 0.2. I like 0.1. 0.2 is a little too much for me. We can also add this again later on if we really want to. So next thing I like to do is some corrective EQ. So let's pull up the stock Pro Tools EQ, which is, I don't even remember. What is the stock Pro Tools EQ? I'm doing this on the fly. That's how confident I am that I can get this vocal to sound pro with stock plugins. I'm not even pre-doing this. I'm doing this on the fly. We're doing it live.
No, we'll do it live.
I don't even have a. Do I even have it installed? Now we're gonna open up our stock Pro Tools EQ. Boom. Look how beautiful this thing is. So what I like to do, I'm doing this live, right?
No, we'll do it live.
It's important to EQ while you listen to it in the context of a mix. Because you could...
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, losses never get a closure. Cause I know when it's over.
You're like, wow, that sounds really good. And then you take it out and play it in the mix.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off.
That's fine, but I like a little bit of beefiness to some of my vocals. So let's listen to it.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, losses never get a closure. Cause I know when it's over.
Cool. Now I hear a lot of on and on. The like especially when you overhear.
It goes on and on. Keep dreaming if the blink is gone.
It sounds like there's like this type of sound going on. If you really listen to it, it goes on and on.
It goes on and on.
There's a little bit of this going on there, but not entirely throughout the whole thing. So if I had a dynamic EQ, I would do a dynamic band on this, or stock. And I was confident that I could do this with stock plugins. So that's what we're doing. It's probably like 1.1 around there.
Girl, I just never get it closure. 'Cause I know when it's over, it goes on and on.
I'm just boosting it so that you could hear what I'm talking about. I do not recommend doing this whole like boost and sweep thing. That's stupid. Everything you boost and sweep is gonna sound bad. So don't do that. Just listen to it. I already knew that it was around 1K because I'm built different like that. And just train your ears and you could get there too.
Girl, I just never get it closure. 'Cause I know when it's over.
Okay, next I'm hearing a decent bit of boxiness. Like a little bit of this, just a tiny bit of this, you know what I'm saying? And that's usually around 400 hertz. So let's go to like 450 or something like that. And I'm only going to take out like a dB, I think. And then also when you are mixing low frequencies or EQing low frequencies, something to remember, the lower you go in the frequency spectrum, the bigger the waves are, the cycles are. If you use a tighter Q, you're not really going to get what you're looking for in that EQ move. So obviously test it and see what sounds right for you, but just keep in mind the lower you go in frequency, the bigger the cycles are, so the wider the Q, then you affect more of what you're probably trying to do. So I like to keep a little bit wider Q when I go lower, low mid, stuff like that, but you know, do what you want. If it sounds good, it sounds good.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, I just never get it closure. 'Cause I know when it's over.
When you record at home with like a lower quality mic, it starts to sound digital, I guess, or I don't know how else to explain it. To get rid of that, it's usually in the like treble, like mids / like upper mids range of EQ to make it sound less digital. And then after you get rid of that, you can saturate the vocal to bring some of that back. What you're bringing back is basically just harmonics, not really what the mic produced. I guess that's a good way to explain it. If someone has a better way, then put it in the comments. But I'm going to get rid of a little bit of 4K.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, I just never get it closure. 'Cause I know when it's over.
Cool. That sounds pretty good to me. Now let's listen to without everything.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off.
We're getting a little bit more expensive. You know what I'm saying? Just we're doing little adjustments. Now, dynamics is next. Do I have a stock Pro Tools compressor? So I've actually never used this, but like I said earlier, I'm so confident that I can get this to sound good with just using the brain, the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? That I have no doubt I can get this to sound good with stock plugins. All right, back to it. Let's run it. What we're going into this, we want our transients to come through a little bit.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, I just never get it closure. 'Cause I know when it's over. It goes on and on. Keep dreaming if I think it's gone. I need to try and get sober. 'Cause I know when it's over. It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off.
don't want to listen to that. That was mixed with hardware. We're doing stock plugins because I know I could get this song or this hook to sound good with stock plugins. All right. So what I'm doing, I'm hitting it kind of hard, but don't be afraid to compress stuff. You'd be surprised of how much compression goes into pro sounding vocals or whatever, even when you're recording vocals. A lot of these mixes, top 10 mixes, top 40 mixes or whatever, there's like 20 dB of compression or more on a vocal. And especially when this was recorded without any compression, we can be a little liberal. And also what we just did, if you really listen to it, it pushed the vocal into the beat, pushes it into the song and kind of like plants it in its place. And I did a video on this before. This has a lot to do with your attack and release. If you want to know more about that, watch that video. Without this compressor, it sounds like it's not a part of the beat. It's not a part of the song. But when this compressor is engaged, it sounds like it's a part of the song.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, I just never get a closure. Cause I know when it's over. It goes on and on.
I like where that's sitting. But now we've run into another problem. We've run into our S's kind of popping out. Now, I don't like that at all. We need to de-ess this. Now, you can do this first. You can do this whenever you want. But I like to do it after I've done compression because, just say I de-ess first, I add saturation, I EQ, and when you do subtractive EQ, just say you take out low mids, now your high mids or high upper frequencies are going to sound louder just because you brought these down. So if you de-ess first and you add all this stuff and compress it, your S's might still come back. So I like to do it after compression, even though a de-esser is just a compressor that attacks the upper frequencies. So now this is just a compressor, right? So this has a side chain on it. So what we're going to do is set the side chain to like 4K. Is there, boom. Oh, wait, let's do this. Yeah. I've never used this, like I said, but we're doing it live.
No. We'll do it live!
There's a preset on this. I didn't know. I just spent forever dialing this in. I just could have hit a preset.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, I just never get a closure. Cause I know when it's over.
Boom. De-esser. All right, now that we've de-essed, it sounds pretty good. Okay, so now what we're going to do, saturation again. 0.1, 0.1.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, I just never get a closure. Cause I know when it's over.
Without anything?
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, I just never get a closure. Cause I know when it's over.
Without these moves, the vocal sounds wimpy. Now it sounds nice and ballsy. Just feels like ass without it. Now let's listen to it. The final mix.
It goes on and on. Keep wishing I could call it off. Girl, I just never get a closure. Cause I know when it's over.
There you go. Stock plugins are good too. You can get them to sound good if you make the right moves. Okay, bye.